Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Sasha. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. I am, first of all, no periodic table, no alien talk, all right? But the creator came through with the message and he wanted to get into this ASAP because I was trying to actually remember the other downloads and he wouldn't let me remember the other downloads. And I'm like, God, wait. And he's like, nope. We've had several conversations about the year of 2024, how all these shifts in the ethers are spiritual belch, are in these times where they are experiencing the shift. We're all experiencing all these different shifts, and how the year of 2024 is about prosperity and abundance. Start looking around you, okay? Start paying attention to the children that are graduating on all levels. Doesn't matter from pre-K to medical school, right? And everything in between. Pay attention to those who are just went to prom this year. Pay attention to those who have started their first year of college. Those who just started their new jobs, breaking out of all of those different cycles that they were in that are related to their childhood in previous timelines. Those are timelines being shed, being closed off. And a lot of us are connected to them in really subtle ways, and we don't really understand just how connected we are to people until they come up, or some other people that they're connected to tends to come up. It's really interesting that while we were here watching these shifts go on and we were experiencing life through them and trying to just figure out where we fit into all of this, we forgot to pay attention to the other things that are binding us to our past. Now, sure, a lot of these things are going to fall off on their own. They don't really have the opportunity they don't really hold any weight, right? They don't really hold any weight. They're not necessarily going to be helping us move forward, but what they will do is reveal to us what we want to avoid, what we don't want, right? What we need to stay away from. Even if we don't have an idea of what we want fully, I believe that these last 5 years or so, and maybe it's 7, 9, 12, 11, or 13 for others, maybe even 19 or 20. But let's just say the last 2 decades, right, has shown us what life has to offer us in the negative aspect of things. And we know what we do not want because of what we've been experiencing. So if you can stay away from what you know is not good for you, what you know to be something that you really don't want to be connected to, not in this room or any other, then this is a good time to be alive, okay? We always talk about the different versions of ourselves on different timelines and in different dimensions. And right now, we are experiencing people jump into new timelines, right? We're experiencing people make strides and shifts into, or I would say onto rather, the bridges that are connecting them to a higher version of themselves, right? People that are having babies. And another example that the Creator has given me was marriages, right? Now, we've discussed how people can put themselves with people, or how God can put people with people, right? We talked about that. And I think it's really safe to say that a lot of the different things that we are witnessing are telltale signs. And marriages, I'm not sure if you guys notice, I mean, whether they're ordained by God or not, people have been getting married around since maybe the 2019. I don't know if you're paying attention, if you notice, or if you care, but since 2019, the latter part of it anyway, right? A lot of people have been getting married. Like, there's been a lot of different reports about how people haven't gotten married over the last decade or so. And the next thing you know, there's this like dramatic rise in all of the people being married. So this is something that I would consider to be important for you to pay attention to, only because it's one of the ways that we can see two people working in tandem for the sake of the Creator, right? When you see people, I mean, even having a baby as well, but getting a job and going to a new state and graduating, those are prophecies, but it's not really you getting to see two people work in tandem. And I think it's something like when there's two or more, basically it's like when two or more people are praying to God and worshiping God, there are going to be spiritual doors opening, and this is considered a congregation of people. I'm sure there's a surah that is similar in the Quran, but I do not know one. So the aspects of you, I'm going to give you an example. Where on earth in Newark, New Jersey, in 2024, right? Now, the Creator did tell me that this was a different topic, but He's telling me to go ahead and use this example to make the point, okay? And this will be a different segment. The topic of this, what I'm going into, will be a different segment, but it's just an example, okay? Let's just say, how many time zones do we have here in America? About 5, maybe? Each of those time zones are different timelines. Okay? Those are not the same timeline. And somewhere on that timeline is another version of you. And it doesn't even have to be you exactly. Let's just say you have a family member, an extended family member that you never met, that lives in a geographic location that has a different timeline as you. Maybe the other aspect of you is not even on a different planet, but in a different country, right? Same dimension, different timeline. Now, this is one example of how we can jump timelines, okay, by not disrupting the timeline we're currently in. Or you can go back to 1970. That is a different timeline, right? You can go back to Newark, New Jersey, 1970, compared to 2024, Newark, New Jersey, and see that this is the same geographic location in the same dimension, 2 different timelines. Not simultaneously, but they're leading up to one another. The different time zones are simultaneous timelines, okay? And there can be multiple versions of you in those places, and you don't even have to ever come into contact with them. But all of those aspects and versions are connected. So you have to find out what it is that your frequency would have to do in a place like Denver or Mexico or Mississippi or Arizona or Maine or Florida, right? Or Chicago. Consider what a different time zone is, or what a time zone is, right? Obviously, the movement of the sun and the moons have a lot to do with that. But this is mainly us just going into the overall gist of what is required to not only jump a timeline, but to just even acknowledge that you might actually exist on a different timeline. And when the Creator gave me that download, I thought He intended for me to talk about it today in better detail, but He just wanted me to use that as an example. I'm guessing that analogy would make more sense to someone out there who may be listening, right? So you have to just realize that we are walking prophecies if we allow the Creator to just work through us. Some of us are more connected to other people than others simply because our soul is a little older. So the older your soul gets, and we've talked about this, right? Spiritual maturity, spiritual immunity, and just going through so many life cycles that your soul already has a certain amount of knowledge, information, and wisdom that it can carry you through a lifetime because you've done it multiple times. Like, just imagine being the only curse breaker in a timeline. Every time a cycle needs to be broken, you will die and be reborn again. I mean, it's not funny, but I'm just like, this is the shit that goes on in the spiritual world, because your vibration is connected to so many things that not only breaks curses and spells and hexes, but it also is the frequency that is connected to the things that are going to draw in what your bloodline needs. And that's not the same as breaking a curse, right? Breaking a curse could simply be, okay, or a cycle or whatever. God gave me the gift of prophecy and seership. And my bloodline has this Jezebel spirit running rampant and this spirit of addiction. I'm going to break them off, and then that's it. All right, got 7 more generations coming through the pipeline that are going to be able to experience the fruit, right, of that spirit being broken off. And then, hey, what do you know? Another family member comes and they bring the spirit back into the bloodline. Now you have to come back to this dimension to banish the spirit again. And there could be more than one, but usually when that happens is the curse breakers don't usually blend, because it's not your job to be buddy and do all of that. Like, no, it's your job to be the portion of the bridge that is broken. Your job is to fix the bridge so that everyone can cross over. That is essentially what the curse breaker's job is. I mean, for real. Let's be frank about it. And like I said, sometimes you might just live and die just to break off these cycles. Sometimes it's not even meant for you to have a kid, right? Some people are walking prophecies simply because the Creator wants them specifically to not only break the pattern, but to also call in the frequencies that will connect their bloodlines to prosperity, to peace, to maintenance, to longevity, to all of the things that will keep the spirits from coming back in to ruin the bloodline. All right, but I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I hope y'all are going to drink your water, eat your fruit and vegetables, and sip on your own tea because it's free. Love y'all. Peace.